The French film industry is famous for its reflection of life and drama. It is also one of the most successful movie industries around the world. Bonjour, I'm Anjali. In this video, we're gonna talk about how did the French New Wave change the movies. There have been several seismic shifts in the movie history that changed the motion pictures, and one of them is the rise of the French New Wave. What is French New Wave? The French New Wave or Nouvelle Vague was a film movement from 1950s and it is one of the most influential in the cinema history. The movement gave birth to a new kind of cinema that was highly self-aware and revolutionary to the mainstream filmmaking. The movement was characterized by its rejection of traditional filmmaking conventions in the favor of experimentation and personal expression. The idea was to give the directors full creative control over their work, allowing them to favor improvisational storytelling instead of strict narratives. The result changed the world. Techniques included fragmented, discontinuous editing and long takes that allowed actors to explore a scene. The combination of realism, subjectivity, and commentary allowed these movies to have ambiguous characters, motives, and even the ending that were not so clear cut. So, the French New Wave was born. When did the French New Wave happen? The French New Wave was roughly between 1958 and 1964, with scattered titles adding to this movement until 1973. The French New Wave movement began as a result of sea change in French cinema brought by the end of the World War II, which ended Nazi censorship in France. This exposed French viewers to many American and British films that they haven't seen before, such as Alfred Hitchcock and Orson Welles, as well as French filmmakers like Jean Renoir, all of whom were previously banned. This art came out of a hard times. Shortly after World War II, France was incredibly poor and tended to fall back to the old popular pre-war traditions. But as the new artists emerged, they were broke. They couldn't afford to make those classical French movies. Therefore, they had to invent a new way to shoot and edit without many resources. It was the first French New Wave movie. Pafan credits the American film Little Fugitive by Ruth Orkin, Ray Ashley, and Maurice Angel as the movie that started the French New Wave. But that wasn't the first French movie. Chabrol's Le Bar Search is traditionally credited as the first New Wave movie. Audace La Courte was made before that movie, but it did not have the commercial release until 2008. What is left bank group? In early 1960s, critic Richard Rod attempted to draw a distinction between the directors allied with influential genre Cahiers du Cinema and what he called left bank group. Another associate of the group was the Nouveau Roman novelist Alain Robbe-Grillet. In 1961, he collaborated with Alain Renes on Lahe Dahiya Amariyabad. Agnes Varda is the most celebrated female director to be associated with the New Wave. She began as a photographer and then turned to the cinema and directed La Courte, a low-budget documentary-like feature film about the breakup of a marriage. How did the French New Wave inspire the rest of the world? Even after the movie stopped being made, it inspired many international movements like Danish director of Dogme 95, the Brazilian filmmaker of Cinema Nova, and New Hollywood. You can see this influence across Woody Allen, Spike Lee, and even in the Mabako films of 90s and 2000s. Revolutionary film movements also arose in Japan and Brazil, where directors like Nagisha Oshima and Glauber Rocha made films devoted to questioning, analyzing, critiquing, and upsetting social conventions. Even the United States, the very heartland of commercial cinema, had its own new wave led by actor turned filmmaker John Cassavet, who blazed a trail of independent American cinemas with films like Shadows and Faces, which bore remarkable similarity to the work of French New Wave. Indeed, in countries around the world, young filmmakers armed with handheld cameras and ideas inspired by New Wave and were making films on their own terms. Summing up the French New Wave in cinema, it's hard to summarize how much of an effect the French New Wave had on cinema as a whole. The ripple effects are still felt today, and lucky for us, the movies are available regularly to watch and delight in. At the moment's heart was the idea that anyone should be able to make a movie, and that sentiment lived on today. Mercy.